Saturday the 10th of February saw us return to the home of North Wrestling, the Anarchy Brewery, for another fantastic show. All roads lead north. Hello and welcome to the North Rewind. I am Fraser Porter, here to bring you all the details on another huge night of action, which included the semi-finals of the tag team tournament, not one but two debuts, a title change, and the much anticipated main event, which saw Leon Slater face off against Michael Oku for the coveted North Wrestling Championship. In an interesting draw of competitors, the landed gentry found themselves against two teams they have been intertwined with for some time. Session Moth Martina previously taking on Zio Knox in a singles match, Natalie Sykes holding her own against the LG's Motivator and self-proclaimed deathmatch cutie Ace Matthews, and most recently at Slamfest where Natalie Sykes teamed with the postmodern Sick Boys Rory Coyle and Liam Slater to face the collective landed gentry and Ace Matthews. It's safe to say all these teams know each other pretty well at this point, although noticeably Ace Matthews was missing from ringside to support the landed gentry. Before the match got underway, Rory rummaged in his sack to presumably gain favour with Martina, Sykes and even referee Jumping John Myers by presenting them with gifts. Rory was even kind enough to remember the landed gentry getting them a pair of birdies. After some drinks and questionable grinding, the match got underway with a brawl. Both Martina and Natalie gained momentum with dives to the outside and another off the bar. Shenanigans continued throughout the match where all the teams seemed neck and neck throughout. At one point it seemed Rory and Liam were going to take the win, Rory giving a huge black hole slam to Benji and Liam pile driving Knox to the canvas. Afterwards, Rory proclaimed to the camera that Rampage Brown better be watching. The landed gentry snatched the win after attacking the postmodern Sick Boys with a chair and their mallet, and then hitting Rory with his own trademark DDT onto a steel chair. Benji got the pin while Zio held off Natalie Sykes and Martina, advancing them to the finals of the tournament. Now, we will find out who will be joining them in the finals at the NCL Cup, with the final set to take place at Let the Cannons Fly 5. Now, I caught up with the landed gentry after the match to see how they were feeling after such a big win. I'm backstage right now with the winners of the semi-finals and going on to the finals, landed gentry.
Go on, Fraser, say it again, go on, you know you want to.
You're
go on,
going
say it
to
again.
the finals of the tag team tournament.
Did you see that out there? Did you see the performance that the landed gentry did?
I did, yes.
Did you?
You won the match.
That was a masterclass in how to win a tag team match. Yes. You see, I beat Rory Coyle the same way that I always beat Rory Coyle. With his own move, the DDT.
And look, we have been the absolute underdogs. Nobody thought that the landed gentry would get this far. Every single person, including this guy, thought we were going to be out in the first round. But what are we, Fraser?
You won the match and you're going to the finals.
Going to the finals! And you know what, Fraser? And you know what, everybody else? It doesn't matter who it is, any of the other three teams, we will see you in the finals and the landed gentry will win this tournament.
We might not know who we're against next, but there's one thing we do know, that we will be the North Tag Team Champions.
Yes!
Yeah.
Oh, let's go. Let's get out of here.
Congratulations to the landed gentry. The Queen of Irish Wrestling, Debbie Kettle, introduced herself to the crowd, proclaiming that she is going on tour in 2024 and fancies herself a match in the brewery. Debbie started the match with a big slap to Eve before quickly realising this was a bad idea when Eve gave a receipt in the form of a big forearm to the face. In a pretty even matchup, both women threw hefty shots at each other, Kettle throwing some stiff punches at Bateman, but after some heated words with the referee Rich Swift, she found herself on the end of a big headbutt and a boot to the face. Ultimately, Debbie's experience proved to get the better of Eve when she made use of Eve's own rings to deliver a knockout punch for the 3 count. The loss proved to be too much for Eve as she blamed not only referee Rich Swift, but many attendees in the crowd for watching what happened. Let's take a look at exactly what happened. Up next, the voice of North Wrestling himself, Tom Campbell, invited the Rumble for the Cup winner Henry Faust to the ring to chat about his recent win at Slamfest, and just exactly what this means heading into the NCL Cup. Before Henry could even address the North Faithful, he was interrupted by Yorkshire Tough's Hardman Dan, flanked by Reese and Rogan. Hardman Dan sent Reese and Rogan away, showing he could handle this one on his own. And it looked like we were about to see Hardman Dan versus the man that eliminated him in the Rumble one-on-one. Now, before Tom could even say the following contest, another interruption arrived in the form of the Golden Boy Miles Kamen, seemingly declaring that he also wants in on the match. And it looked like we were set for a three-way dance until Kemper decided he also wanted to be part of the action and made his way down to the ring. As soon as the bell rang, Kamen slid out of the ring, while Kemper took it to Hardman Dan and Faust, using his impressive size to hit the pair with some big splashes. Now, Henry found himself on the receiving end of a double team from Miles and Kemper, but he did manage some offense in return, hitting a big kick on Kamen, causing him to DDT Hardman Dan, and then he hit a superplex on the big man Kemper. It looked like it was over as Kemper set up a powerbomb on Hardman Dan before being interrupted by Reese and Rogan, who took Kemper out of the match. Now, Kamen hit a beautiful cutter on Hardman Dan from the top rope, but a quick cheeky roll-up from Henry sealed the 3 count for the Rumble winner. Henry continues to become a fan favourite with a series of wins and is building some great momentum. But will he be able to keep it up and win the coveted NCL Cup? Only time will tell. The matchup for the North Ultraviolent World Championship garnered a lot of interest in the run-up to this match. Jet has been out to prove himself as one of the most intense and scrappy fighters at North, and he was one of the final 4 in the Slamfest Rumble, narrowly losing out to a spot in the NCL Cup. Clint, of course, always ready for his next opponent, he welcomed the challenge. Immediately, Clint took it to Jet with a series of chair shots, busting open the young fighter. With Clint's deathmatch experience, he took advantage of this, grinding and biting at the head of the young Jet to really get that blood flowing. Jet sent Clint over the top rope and went for the supersonic suicide dive. Chaos ensued as the two brawled through the crowd and went into the brewing area Anarchy. After being sent into the Perspex glass, Clint set up a pallet with aims of sending the young challenger through them and onto the concrete floor. After heading back to the ring, Clint attempted to pin Jet, but he kicked out at 2. With more back and forth, Jet sent Clint into the corner and used the chair to hit a poetry in motion, following this up with a double stomp into the ribs of Clint with the chair for added damage. But this, unfortunately for Jet, only garnered a 2 count. In a familiar sight, Clint gathered together 2 wooden pallets and recreated former opponent Joey Janela's introduction of Lego. For added effect and potentially a bit of desperation, Clint added thumbtacks to the mix, where it was only a matter of time before one of the combatants were heading for a painful landing. Clint's attempts for a superplex were foiled when Jet slid down and gave a huge powerbomb to the champion. With the crowd going nuts, Jet attempted another double stomp with the chair. Margera narrowly avoided before landing a vicious Death Valley driver on a chair and pallets for a quick 3 count on the young fighter. It definitely showed that Clint was rattled by the defense. Jet almost had him. He even said in the ring, this is the hardest defense he's had so far for the Ultraviolent title. Clint is closing in on 1 year as Ultraviolent World Champion, but who will be next to stand up to take it to the champ?
This community will never let you down. Whoa, whoa, whoa. From the top rope all the way to the back of the crowd. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Stand up, let me hear you. Whoa, whoa, whoa. North Wrestling, this is what...
The next contest saw teacher versus student and a new face at North. Since the announcement, North debutant Ian Skinner has been having fun at the expense of Joe Hendry, even going so far as to recreate the iconic Joe Hendry entrance video. With Hendry taking a height and weight advantage, Skinner started the match out scrappy, jumping on the back of Hendry. This didn't work in his favour for long, however, as he was sent forward to the floor before receiving some chops for his troubles. Skinner used his speed to attack Hendry, managing to bring him to the floor and crank the neck of his former teacher, not once, but twice, and followed this up by a knee to the face on the edge of the ring. Getting a little cocky, Skinner took his eye off Hendry for just a second, which allowed Hendry to pick up Skinner for a huge delayed vertical suplex to the canvas. After only getting a 2 count, the competitors took their fight back to the front of the ring for a second time. Hendry attempted to suplex Skinner onto the floor below, but instead found himself on the receiving end of a cutter on the apron edge. Before Skinner could capitalise, Joe was able to land a lariat followed by a final standing ovation to get the 3 count over the debutant. It goes without saying, a great debut for Skinner, who unfortunately came up short. But Joe Hendry has picked up another win here in North, so it does beg the question of who Joe has his sights on next. Up next, we had Amir Jordan making his North return to face off against Big Hoss Will Cruz. Cruz has recently found success with tag team partner Rampage Brown and is currently awaiting their semi-finals tag team tournament match due at the NCL Cup in March. We last saw Amir at the World Enlarged in November, where he defeated Kid Lycos in a singles match, so both competitors were going into this match strong. Cruz started the match strong, throwing Amir across the ring not once, but twice. Amir tried to mount some offense, going for a signature rolling codebreaker, but was caught by Cruz and immediately thrown down. In typical Will Cruz fashion, it wasn't long before Amir was on the receiving end of some meaty chops. Eventually, Amir hit back with a crossbody, which only landed a 2 count. It wasn't long before the power and size of Cruz came into play, as he caught Amir attempting a second crossbody and countered with a huge side slam. Amir did get a few kicks in on Will with a speedy dive to the outside and a codebreaker, but only got another 2 count. Amir threw everything he had at the big man, hitting him with the Air Jordan Swanton from the top, but only getting the 2 count once again. Will caught Amir though, picking him up for a spin-out powerbomb, and that secured the win. Not to be disheartened though, I caught up with Amir after the match. Let's take a look. I'm backstage just now with Amir Jordan off a loss from Will Cruz. Now, it's been a bit up and down here at North recently for you. How's that feel?
How does that feel? How does that feel? Up and down. Well, some days up, some days down, and today was a down one, eh, Fraser?
Yeah.
Will Cruz, a big boy Will Cruz, and you know what? I'll live to fight another day with Will Cruz, but I've been thinking, Fraser, been thinking a lot. Amir Jordan, I've been here since 2017. I don't know if you remember, we were doing gap promos for Lion style. We had losing streaks, we had win streaks. We've done everything. I've gone away, I've come back, I've been injured. I have grown as a performer. The Amir Jordan you see here today has been made at North Wrestling. But some way, somehow, for some reason, haven't been here. You heard them outside, right? You heard them out there today.
Loud.
They want it. But for some reason, I've not been able to get the opportunities that I quite deserve. What do you think, Fraser? Maybe up and down, win some, lose some, right? Mm-hmm. It's about time that Amir Jordan did something to change that.
Oh, best of luck going forward after some up and down here in North.
I'm gonna have a think. Send me notes as well. If you got any ideas,
I'll let you know.
I'm gonna do it. We're gonna make it happen at North. Fraser.
Best of luck. With no scheduled match, Lycos Gym were apparently feeling generous at All Roads Lead North, offering an open challenge to the North locker room for very specifically any wrestlers under 6 foot. Without hesitation, Emerson Jane makes her way to the stage, shockingly followed by recent Slamfest opponent Rio. Starting the match strong, Emerson and Lycos 2 matched each other in strength. However, Lycos 2 quickly set up, calling for the Brainbuster, which Emerson countered for a quick roll-up. After tagging in the newly unmasked Lycos and calling for another Brainbuster, Emerson countered by giving a big slap before tagging in partner Rio. Lycos also attempted to test strength against Rio, but was swiftly put in his place with a big shoulder tackle, taking him down to the canvas. With a rake to the eyes, the Lycos Gym regained the upper hand on Rio, further attacking with a double elbow and some quick footwork. Lycos 2 did not seem to capitalise on this quickly enough though, choosing to show off to the crowd instead. It was clear the Lycos Gym were confident in this match, giving their opponents time to recover and allowing for those vital tags between the ladies. After tagging Emerson back in, both Lycoses had a flurry of offense in an attempt to keep the main event Empress down, although this only gained them a 1 count. In a second attempt at the Lycos Choo Choo train, what a great name by the way, Emerson turned the tables, taking out the older Lycos and suplexing Lycos 2 to the mat. Rio capitalised on this with a double drop kick from the top rope, dropping Lycos 2 on her knee, but only for a 2 count. Not to be outdone, the Lycos Gym attempted a senton neckbreaker combo, but again, only got the 2 count on Rio. In what looked to be a setup for a new move, the Lycos boys headed onto the stage. And, well, let's take a look at what happened. And there you have it. Emerson, Jane and Rio ending the 266-day reign of the Bad Boy Gym Gang's Lycos Gym in an absolute shocker. Set up at Slamfest in January, All Roads Lead North brought 2 of the absolute brightest stars within British wrestling today into the brewery for a matchup with big stakes. The 2 competitors had met in the ring before, and Oku has also challenged for the North Championship before, facing Leon's predecessor, Liam Slater. Something new we're not used to seeing was Leon sporting a shoulder brace when he came to the ring, giving indications that the schedule he's keeping is taking a toll on the young star. Reminiscing back to December, the crowd giving respect to both competitors, giving no clear indication of who they want to win. The match starts fairly equal to begin with some quick pace and clearly showing that the competitors know each other well. Oku got the upper hand, sending Leon to the floor and hitting a big Fosbury flop, followed by a splash from the top rope to get a 2 count. Oku continued his offense with a targeted attack from the top rope onto Leon's knee. In a third attempt at the top rope, Leon managed to pull himself up with Oku, only for Oku to get the half crab locked in, hanging Leon off the side of the ring. Referee Rich Swift giving a fair 5 count to Oku, breaking the hold, meant Leon was able to bring himself back up to take further shots at each other. Once back in the ring, Oku managed another half crab, holding Leon back from getting to any of the ropes. Torquing back on the knee he'd been working, this almost spelt the end for Leon. After managing to reverse the move, Leon gained some offense with a beautiful cutter, heading up to the top rope for his signature 450. Although missing, Leon attempted some strong forearms, but Oku just hit back with a spicy kick to Leon's leg, cutting off the offense. With an attempted frog splash, Oku missed and Leon capitalised, hitting a blue thunderbomb. Taking Oku up for the Utopia, referee Rich Swift got taken out and was unable to make the count. Frustration clear on the face of Slater, he attempted to pick the official back up, but to no avail. With Oku down, Slater picks him up to shout Oku's signature "Now we play," for Oku only to uncharacteristically spit in the face of the champ. Enraging Leon, he kicks Oku again and picks up the North Championship belt. Lying in wait to take Oku out, but the conflicted champion just couldn't bring himself to do it, much to the delight of the crowd. Instead, Oku saw his opportunity, grabbing the belt and connecting it with Leon instead. He then locked in the half crab with the crowd chanting, "Not like this." In an adrenaline rush, Leon makes his way at the bottom rope, breaking the half crab. Unsure how this has just occurred, both guys head back to their safe space, the top rope. Oku looks like he's attempting the Frankensteiner, only for Leon to catch him and hit a massive top rope powerbomb. This sets Oku down long enough for the patented 450 swanton and a 3 count to retain the championship. After the match, we heard from the champ. Now let's take a look.
North is so special to me, man. And I know I act out sometimes. And I know sometimes I treat the people I should be treating well, not so well. But it's because I care, man. I care so much about this place, and I'd be here every time if I could. But unfortunately for the NCL Cup, I can't be. But you know who can be? The rest of the North roster. It's an understatement to say that we have the best talent in the country up here in North, man. And every single time after I walk out of Anarchy Brewery, I tell you there's no one left for the boy. Well, like I said in the ring, and like I'm saying now, we got some of the best talent on the scene. And after the NCL Cup, I hope there's someone for your boy.
And that was All Roads Lead North. You can watch the full show for free if you're a Triller Plus subscriber, and the full show and more behind the scenes content is also available by subscribing to our Patreon. Tickets for the second annual NCL Cup are running low at the time of recording, and we currently have 3 entrants announced for the show, including Rumble for the Cup winner Henry Faust, Miles Kamen, and the international entrant Jordan Oliver. It's also confirmed that your second tag team tournament semi-final will be taking place with Sunshine Machine, Crash Boat, and the team of Rampage Brown and Will Cruz competing for their spot in the final. For tickets, merch, and more event information, visit northwrestling.co.uk. You can also follow North on all socials, which will be linked in the description below. I'm Fraser Porter, and thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.